Well, I guess not. Yeah, I just felt that, and I would like to have gotten a drink. That would be the smart thing to have done. Ugh. Fucking cryptid. I always thought, we got called that once by somebody as if it was an insult, but I think being a cryptid is like, that seems like goals to me. That I don't think that's at all a bad thing to be called. You should have gone with goblin or something. And yes, culty was very unpleasant. I regret it. I'm really fucking proud of how well we dealt with everything. I think it's just like all the stuff that I was afraid of in that vlog at the beginning of the month is like another thing. Since being embodied and starting to feel things on so many deeper, more intense levels, we haven't gone further than the pub and haven't experienced, like one time, and haven't experienced these things. Like traveling. We haven't traveled for fucking years. So this is all very unknown and new and unexpected. That was accurate. And we could cope so much better than I imagined too. And the trade-off, like, we could do it way more than I thought we could. And also I felt the symptoms impacting us very physically a lot more than I thought I would. Like, I've barely been able to speak or focus or communicate to people or do anything other than fucking sleep or sit and rest since we got back. Which I was kind of expecting, but like, everything aches, including my brain. Like, it hurts to think. I feel like I don't have juice left to think with. It's been a lot. Like, it took a lot. Even more than I expected it would. And we were capable of it more than I thought we would be. So, interesting, really. Kind of heartbreaking. And kind of bittersweet. I'm very proud. And the next note that now I'm wondering if I subconsciously read already was, it's hard no matter what I do, and that's heartbreaking. It's bittersweet. Yeah. Yeah. I had a moment of really, really feeling very sad when we got back, because, like, that was the most fucking incredible, meaningful, perfect, fucking, deeply impacting experience. I feel like that fucking changed our fucking coding. It was incredible and impacted us on so many levels. And I'd love to do it more. I'd love to be able to book and go to more concerts, and I was thinking about it, and I kind of know that we can't, like, in terms of money. But even if we had the money, in terms of symptoms and what it took for us to manage all of those symptoms and do that, I'm so aware of the fact that that's not something we could do often, and of how hard it was to do. And, like, that makes me so fucking proud we did it. And I guess it just makes it impossible to deny that we really are very, very impacted by our symptoms. We really are very ill. Trauma really does impact every area of our lives, and I can really fucking see it. It's like, I have to really accept that we really do have complex trauma, and dissociative disorders, and the symptoms of that limit us to not being able to do the things we want to do in life. And it's a lot harder to do things that able-bodied people can do. It costs a lot more for us to do them, and that makes me super fucking proud that we can do it with all of these weights attached to us and all of these factors. And also, yeah, it's pretty fucking haunting thinking about it, and it's really heartbreaking being like, man, I'd love to do this every fucking week, and that's just not accessible to us yet. You don't know what it's going to be like in future. How much work we do now, how much more work we could possibly do. Where we'll be after we've done it. It's true. I want to work towards being able to do more things. I hope it gets easier and costs less as we go. Something I wrote from the vlog a month ago was, when I watched it back, maybe yesterday, day before, even us doing the best we can is so almost impossible, and there's so much from us, and takes so much from us, and the external impact of that is it will look like we can do something that every normal person around us can one time. It's like, yeah, I can see that. It's hard being honest and authentic with what we're really capable of, and the external things we will accomplish, like travelling on a train and managing to have food in the body and be there and get back, and every one of these things is just not just standalone. It doesn't show the internal underground labyrinth like tunnels that we have to dig every single fucking day with, like, therapy, implementing skills, building habits, rewiring neural pathways, structurally supporting and mining out all of the stuff we have to do, integrating information, and all of the internal work that we have to do to achieve what looks relatively simple on the outside. Yeah. It is really hard. It was really hard to accept all of that. I feel like a lot more transparent with myself now, and a lot more, like, I didn't want to look at my, like, if you don't want to look at your bank account because you know you're fucking broke, you know you're in arrears the whole time because you don't have enough money to live on. It's like that, but with energy for doing normal person things and spare, like, bandwidth in my brain because I'm doing all of the management stuff for the symptoms. So, like, to be able to manage all the symptoms and get a train, that's taking a lot from my computer, and most people don't have all of that thing to do, so they only use a little bit of bandwidth to get the train, and, like, you know, but if you don't look at your bank account and budget, then you're going in blind everywhere, and you've just got this lingering feeling of dread because you don't know where you're at. It felt like that before I accepted it, and before I knew, and before we went. And now I feel a lot more loose and fluid, and yet solidified and clear and transparent in all of our capabilities, in what I can maybe know that we can commit to, in how hard we've got to work, the areas we've got to work in. I can see the places where we need to build more foundation. I can see what things we've done so fucking well to be capable of it. I see the cost. I see the gain. I feel like I see a lot more of where we're limited, where we're capable, what it takes from us, what we're able to do, and it feels like I've got a lot better understanding of the budget that we're working from since going. We really did unrestrainedly throw ourselves into trying our best at every single moment. I never held back. And so therefore I've got a really clear view of like what we can do and, you know, where we need work to be able to do it more easily, because that was like the very edge of our capabilities, I feel like. And it was a steep fucking cost. I lost a chain. It's a good moment to see that note, actually. And I love the symbolism with optimistic nihilism that I can apply to this. Like I wrote, I was unshackled by the MCR concert, and I grieve the parts I notice are missing, because they were ripped away from me and from us. Even as we rebuild them painstakingly, diligently. And it's bittersweet. It's very symbolic and very accurate. And in this case, I do mean the pieces that shouldn't be missing, that are missing because of people who caused us trauma and ripped things away from us, and the things we've have to learn to change, to let go of protection and move towards connection in our life, to be able to live more. You know, it's brutal. And also, I do just physically, literally mean this jacket has chains, and they're beautiful, and I fucking love them. And this jacket was tied around my waist, and at one point I sat on the floor, and it was like this metal, don't know, like metal temporary paneling, I guess, because we were on the pitch, so I guess to save grass from being there, which I very much appreciate. And it had just this one connection between panels. It was a little strip of hold that thin. The rest of it was all smooth panel everywhere around us was totally fine. But when I stood up, it just ripped this part of the chain off and fucking broke it. And I was like, oh mate, this is not something I thought I was gonna have to complain about. And I tried to like poke it out and get it from the gap. I got some bits of it back and stuffed it in my pocket. And this other person behind me tried to dig it out with me and we were like, I think that's gone. I think that's fucked. I think it's fucked. And I just kind of laughed and was like, this is not what I expected. So, and I was a little sad at first because like my new jacket, but then I almost immediately saw how the meaning kind of fit what I was experiencing already. And I was like, yeah. This kind of feels accurate and I can grieve for it and sort of hold the strength in me to build up from where we are at, honestly, without refusing to accept that it's happened. And then when we were on the chain, Vince fixed it by like attaching and biting together other bits of chain. Which I maintain I should not be able to do. We need to attach stronger, better chains. That was fucking poor workmanship. You could claim to be the Hulk, you know. I know my strength. I shouldn't be able to pull apart chain links with my fucking hands. That's a comment on the chain, not my strength. And then I watched your video back, your response at the beginning of the month to my fears, and I was just kind of blown away. I didn't really have anything. I was transfixed and I couldn't take notes. You were fucking incredible and so very accurate and very encouraging. Actually, I have something else to say about that, but it would be easier to do it in a new one. The occasional note while resting, and then we're at today. Okay.